Hey guys, it's Inoue Flame, and welcome back to Days of the Divine. So, in the previous episode, we finished off Liu Fan's route, and today is gonna be really special because we're finally moving on to my favorite route here, which is Senrei's route. Now, you guys might be wondering, why do I like Senrei's route? He's a villain. And so he is, in Liu Fan's route and Maru's route. In his own route, however, Senrei is quite a different character. You see a whole different side of him, and you see a different side of the story as well. I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm just going to start, and you will see for yourself. Let's get into it. But if you're a god, why are you sealed up in here? You could tell? Wait, those clothes. I see. You're a shrine maiden, of course you could. Yes, although these seals aren't like the ones I'm used to. Of course not, as if I could be held back by those. Hey, don't underestimate me. I can do some mantras and seals too, in case you turn out to be really as bad as these seals suggest. Though I'd probably only stall him for a little while. Still, if left alone, a powerful seal like this might keep him in this room forever. Okay, so the last time we played through this scene, we observed that somebody must have thought Senrei was dangerous. That's why they sealed him up, and he wasn't too impressed by our observation. He was like, you don't say. This time, though, we're gonna ask him, how does he live, trapped here like this? I stare in awe. You've been sealed away for centuries, haven't you? Yes. Looking around the room, there really is nothing here aside from Senrei and these odd lights floating around. How can you live here? What do you do all day? You're asking that as if I chose for this. Sorry, but I was just wondering. I don't do much. That probably means he just sits here all day, doesn't it? I wonder how it ended up like this. Why did they seal you up then? Well, you got over your fear rather quickly. Okay, so the dialogue from here on out is going to be pretty much the same thing. Not to be rude, Mr. Senrei, but you can't leave this room, right? Since I'm standing outside, I should be safe. So you think I can't harm you? As if responding to his mood, the mist in the tunnel increases. My heart is beating wildly, but I still manage to glare at him. This is the person who stole Liu Fan away from me, and so many others. I don't care even if you do harm me. I want to know why you are sealed up here. None of your business. Get out, or I'll force you out. You really can't tell me? Does that mean you're here because you actually did something terrible before? The god sighs. Call it what you want. Leave. Well then. Okay. Now this is an important choice that we need to make. Previously we asked him if he was admitting his guilt, but now we're just gonna tell him that we'll come back later. I'll come back later. He ignores my words. I have been worshipping and praying to this god my entire life. My whole family has been doing the same, but you know, I was hoping you'd tell me I was wrong. There's no sound or movement from him. Disappointed, I walk off. Grandpa went to bed when our talk finished, so I'm heading to my room as well now. But if what Grandpa said is really true, I glance further down the hallway in the direction of the sacred room. Okay, see, in our previous playthrough it did not give us this choice, but because we said we would go back and see him later, now we get the choice as to whether we want to see him again or whether we still want to consider him a dangerous god and just leave him be. And you know what? We're just gonna go and see him again. If I'm gonna ignore him, nothing will ever change. Perhaps he can be reasoned with. If Grandpa was telling the truth, there must be something left to this kind god. Determined, I descend to the dark prison and enter that room. Senrei just sits there silently, ignoring me completely. Two can play at this game. I don't move an inch and keep looking at him silently. Finally, he breaks the silence with a sigh and stands up. Didn't I tell you not to come here? Well, if you don't leave, I'll really harm you this time. No, it won't solve anything, so why? Why don't you give me a chance, Senrei? You hardly know who I am. Why don't you give me a chance before shooing me away? Why should I? You're either an ignorant girl or here with ulterior motives. I'm not in the mood for either. Is being here on your own so much better? Why not talk and find out for yourself who I am instead of judging me like this? I cannot imagine watching the walls is so much better. Fine, do as you want. I sit down on the ground. This might take a while. He sighs exhaustedly but remains silent. It doesn't seem like he's gonna harm me anytime soon, so I'm safe for now. Probably not knowing what to do about me, the god just glares at me as he sits down on his usual spot. If he thinks I'm gonna get bored very soon and leave, then he's in for another surprise. The night is still very, very long. After a while, he breaks the silence. Girl, what do you want? My name is not Girl, it's Biyu, and I want to sit here. Biyu, leave. No. Don't you need to sleep? I'll live. Now I'm certain you're here with a reason. How annoying. I didn't think he'd find someone so persistent. He? The kid. He never gave me his name, but he likes to appear like a tiger kid with blonde hair. He's immature enough to send someone like you, even after sealing me. Wait. I knew Maru wasn't a very normal person, but he sealed up Senrei? I stare at Senrei in shock for a moment. What about him? Don't lie to me. I know he sent you here. What does he want? He didn't. Did you just say he sealed you here? I said, don't lie to me. And of course he did, no one else can. I don't see why he would seal you up unless you did something wrong. Oh? As if that kid ever does anything that isn't his own self-interest. I can hardly be worse than he is. What are you trying to say, Senrei? What do you mean? What do you mean with that? He doesn't seem like such a person. He's pretty good at fooling people, isn't he? Perhaps it's his appearance. Well, okay, I can see why people would prefer his non-threatening look over your evil, mist-oozing form any day. He only thinks of himself. Although he might seem to do good things, it's just to gain more popularity and become stronger. Yeah, we actually did read a bit about this in Liu Fan's route, and Maru said it himself in his own route. Senrei sighed. Nearly all gods are like that. Why would they? We're not the same as humans. You're simply the product of a biological process. We are born from your hopes and dreams. If those are strong enough, one of us is born. And so, the more people believe in us, the stronger our existence is in this world, and the more we can do. If that belief is weak, we cannot even form a body, let alone affect this world much. But I don't think you're that different from real human beings. I can't see you as an idea, that's too strange. Yes, I agree. After we take a solid form, we can die, we can think, and we have emotions too. If we were seen as equals, where people had no abnormal expectations or support for us, then even our strength and lifespan might just be the same. It would certainly stop the abuse of their powers. I don't think those with power will want to let it go, though. And now you know why I've been sealed up here. Enough of this. I told you what you wanted to know now. If that kid didn't send you, who are you? Well, I've been your follower my entire life. I think I'll remain it a little bit longer. Really? Yes. Forgive me, but I have to leave now. I'll see if I can stop by again. I head back to my room. For now, my main concerns are answered. Now I can finally catch some sleep. When I return from the sacred sword room, it's already late in the night. Yet... Maru? Biyu! Hey, you said you'd go to bed early. Something got in between, but why are you up yourself? Well, you were wrong. About what? Some monsters do attack when you're asleep. He passes me by, heading outside. Maybe he needs some fresh air, but what did he mean? About to move on, I notice something dark in the corner of my eye and look back. However, it seems to be gone. What was that? Still uneasy, I head to my room. The sun is shining brighter than usual when I open my eyes. I shoot up in bed immediately and stumble out to get dressed. I should really go to bed earlier or find a way not to oversleep. It makes me feel bad if Lufan has to prepare breakfast each morning. Walking out to my door, I try to close it, but stop in shock. What is this? There's a note on my door again, this time held up by... Really? What is he thinking, sticking swords in my door now? What'll he use next to ruin my poor door? An axe? Grumbling about my grandpa's strange habits, I pull the sword out of my door and begin reading the note. Biyu, come to the shrine on top of the hill when you wake up. Bring the sword. If you don't come, I will throw you out. Your grandfather. Yes, yes, Grandpa, I understand. With a heavy sigh, I sheath the blade and attach it to my sash. I wonder what he wants me to do with the sword. With a bad feeling, I head for the hill. When I arrive at the hill, Grandpa's waiting for me in front of the shrine with the blade of his own. I've seen that sword lying around our shrine once or twice, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the same sword he used when he tried to fight Senrei at the end of Lufan's route. Good, you came. Stop blackmailing me into doing what you want. It's called giving guidance. I massage my temples tiredly. So, why did I need to come here? For punishment. What? You have been oversleeping and neglecting your duties, forcing Lufan to take over part of them. Now there's no one for me to train What am I saying? Now there's no one for me to train in the art of the sword. Wait, you train him? Yes, for years. Although he's a bit rusty now that his memories are gone, sadly. My mouth hangs open in shock. But why would I need to learn this art of the sword? At least force me to do a sane punishment, Grandpa. Oh, I'm not going to give you any special lessons. I don't have time for that. You're just here to take over his duty. Lufan's duty? Since when does that involve sword art? Online. Grandpa points to the shrine and I look at it confused. Each morning we come here to cleanse this shrine of monsters. What? You must mean animals. No, didn't I say monsters? I gawk at the forest and then back at the shrine. Anyway, since he's doing your duty all the time, it's only fair you do his. But I can't use a sword. You're a smart girl, I'm sure you'll figure something out. Besides, I'm fighting with you, so there aren't that many. Ugh. That doesn't make it any better. No. This is ridiculous. I'm not following along with it. Stop whining. If you're my granddaughter and a proper shrine maiden, this is nothing. A few stray monsters haven't stopped me all these years. Yeah, first it was mist, then it was stray monsters. Grandpa, you're insane. Looking back at him, I can see him unsheathing his sword as well now. The sounds from his side quickly turned my attention back to the shrine. He's totally serious about this. I'm never joking about fighting monsters again. I hurry up and draw my blade while Grandpa urges me inside. Why do we have to do this anyway? I step back as something moves towards us, probably following the sound of our voices. A follower of a god is also responsible for his actions. Damn it. I strengthen my hold, readying myself for what's about to come. Still, I wasn't quite ready for reality to strike out at me this directly. While I step back with a gasp, Grandpa rushes in with his own blade. Warrior! Battle cry? He lashes out at the monsters with a trained strike. They all jump back with a shriek and barely avoid his blade. Maybe they're also... Encouraged by my discovery, I pick up the sword and take a swing at one of the other monsters. It dodges aside, but also takes a step back. I see. Okay, maybe this will work. Following my grandpa's example, I rush in, but instead of a battle cry, I whisper a mantra. In the dark interior of the shrine, I summon seals light up brighter than ever from behind my back. The monster screeches and lashes around, blinded for the moment. Taking advantage of this, I soon close in on it and smack the flat of the blade against its back with as much force as I can. What? My blade glows brightly upon impact, sending the creature flying into the floor with a big smack. Grandpa, did you give me an enchanted sword? Seeing the creature get out with some difficulty snaps my attention back to the situation. I send off my seals to immobilize the monster, but in my moment of victory, the remaining creature has snuck up behind me. I jump around as it comes down on me with sharp claws. With strength I didn't know he possessed, Grandpa comes in and blocks the claws with his sword before pushing the monster back entirely. Following him with another battle cry, Grandpa fights the enraged monster as I stare in shock. Wait, monsters! There are 2 more of them! Looking around, I can see one monster lying knocked out on the floor while the other is trying to escape my seals with little success. Well, that could have been worse. I begin another mantra and the seals start moving again. Summoning a few more, the seals lift both of them up as the struggling monster screeches. Now be good and stay in the forest. Flying out the window, the seals head to the forest and vanish. I stop my mantra, relieved. Not bad, Biyu. Grandpa comes back, sheathing his sword. What happened to the last one? Their bodies vanish when they die. Oh. Couldn't kill them, I shake my head. It's not like the monsters are to blame for this behavior. They were covered with some kind of black mist I've seen on the animals before. Senrei's mist must be making them restless and wild as well. Plus, I don't think I have the stomach to kill someone with my own hands, even if it's a monster. Chasing them off will do. That sword suits you. Keep it. He smiled? I stared in shock for a moment before snapping myself out of it. But, are you sure? The sword is enchanted, isn't it? Why give it to someone like me? Grandpa nods. It was our ancestor's sword, the one who started the shrine, but you've earned it. From now on, carry it with you at all times. I stare at the sword amazed. The blade looks brand new, not hundreds of years old. You might need it later. Grandpa walks out of the shrine, leaving me behind puzzled. Don't tell me we're doing this again.